Hello, Andy. This is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig.
So, One Up Gaming, episode 356. Me, David, the One Up Gaming podcast. One Up Gaming, OUG. So, the first game we've been playing this week is Ashen. And this one, I think it was on the Xbox Games Show game thingy from like 4 years ago. It's quite it looks kind of like what in modern day like virtual racing style flat shaded polygon graphics would look. It looks smart as. I really love the look of it. Nice little game, gorgeous graphics. It's more of an action, adventure-y, platformy, Souls-like kind of game, all mixed together, all real good elements, nice gameplay. Look at the video here, look at the trailer, it looks amazing. I loved this game so much. Yeah. Next up though, we will go into Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch, and that is the remastered version that I played on the Xbox Series X thing, whatever it was. And I loved what I played, but I'm not a massive role-playing game fan, so some of the stuff that was on there I was just like click, 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 click to get to the next sort of game bit. I can see myself coming back to it and playing a little bit more if I have time. Unfortunately, working like 14-16 hour shifts, doing like sleepover shifts and all this kind of stuff, don't get time for these big blockbuster style games. I love me tablet with my streaming service, I love the Boostroid service, so I can play games on the go. So the next game was Sackboy, A Big Adventure. Now this one, I've never liked the Little Big Planet games. I've always felt that the movement, the character handling just felt very floaty, very off for a platform sort of game. You need tight, sort of really tight sort of like character movements, and I just felt Little Big Planet was off. This one feels a lot better, and I would have a guess if you've played the game that was included with the PS5, I've forgotten what it's called now, but the 3D game with the little Astrobots, is it Astrobots Playground, something like that, then this is very similar to that sort of game. It is more of a standard 3D style action platformer, and it's all the better for it. I just feel that the Little Big Planet just didn't feel right, so when you were making games in this, it just felt off. It's like the Sonic 4, it looks nice but it just feels off. But this one I would recommend, it's a nice little game. Next up we have the Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Now this is the PS2 version that I played on the PS5, and I will say that the game was it gripped me quite well. I got into the game I played the game for a little bit. I enjoyed what I played, and then I started to notice a lot of the little niggly bits that kind of put me off, and that was the character movement and cause I guess this was when 3D action games were still in the infancy, and the camera movement's atrocious. The guy's movement around the screen's quite bad, and then the puzzle elements were quite not the best. They weren't designed great, and unfortunately because of all those little elements, it really went into the game and made it quite hard for me to get into and to play. So I won't be going back to this game. It's deleted off the hard drive, it's not going back now. I will say one of my favourite games ever, which I've got a Ridge Racer tattoo on my arm. I played R4 Ridge Racer Type 4, and I originally played it on the PlayStation 5 with the backwards compatibility, but in the end I decided I'd actually play it on my tablet and stream on there, and it's just because when you blow the screen up to a 65-inch 4K display, it looks pixelated to hell and it looks very shimmery. So it was nicer to play on a 1080p screen on like a little 11-inch sort of screen. It just looked a lot neater and a lot cleaner. But yeah, I played Ridge Racer Type 4. I love this game. I love the game, the gameplay, what you have to do. It's weird. I remember once in one of the magazines back in, I guess it'd been like 2000-ish, where they had like a poster, and it had every single thing you had to do to win all the individual cars. So on certain tracks and certain levels, you have to finish. So say there's like a 3-race series, you have to finish first, and you get a certain car, and then you go back and finish first, second, and you win a different car, and then you finish first, second, third, and you get a different. So you have to play the same race like 18 different times or whatever it'd be to unlock all the cars, and then you have every single series in the game that you have to either finish third, second, or first in random different orders to get all the different cars in the game. And as a kid, I loved it so much. I was in there getting all the stuff. But as me now, it's like I'll just play all the game, and if I get third or better, perfect, I'll go around to the next round. I don't care what cars are winning and what stuff. I'm still in love with the graphics. I love the lens flare from the back of the lights. It looks gorgeous. I really do love the Ridge Racer Type 4. The music, it fits, but it's not as good as what the original Ridge Racer music was, like proper Japanese techno pop sort of stuff. Whereas now this one, it's much more sedate, sort of saxophone-y sort of music, like lounge music. It still fits, it's still amazing, it just doesn't sound like Ridge Racer. So we'll move on to Tales of Iron, and I think I was going to watch a video for this one because I've completely forgotten, but I think it was a side-scrolling action platformer where you are I can't remember if you're a dog or you're some sort of anamorphic sort of creature, maybe a rat or a mouse or something, and the frogs have invaded, and it's a combat game. So I think of like a Prince of Persia sort of style 2D sort of game, gorgeous artwork, really gorgeous how things flow, how things move. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend this game to anyone. It is an amazing piece of software, developers did an amazing job, and it is a fun game to boot. And the last game that we played this week is Dark Quest 3. Now, I will admit, I'm not a big fan of turn-based strategy sort of games. This one, it didn't even have the graphics to try and pull, at least like the XCOM sort of games and things like that. They have that graphics to make it look gorgeous when you're moving around in the fight. This one, it was just still 2D sprites that when you moved near people, they went and then they just like rattled around as if they were hitting, and it was bad. I just didn't like it. It just didn't pull me in. I just didn't have any thought of playing it. It was just not a great game. Again, we're still playing Boostroid. We're still testing the future with the Boostroid sort of service. I'm loving it so much. It's a great little bit of kit. I might start looking on the Boostroid app and see which games are available to stream through the service and buy some games on Steam, because my PC is sat upstairs. It's about 8 years old now. It can't even upgrade to Windows 11. Was it 11 the last one? I can't remember. But it can't even upgrade to that. That's how bad the PC is. That's why I've stopped recording on the PC, because the PC can't take it, and I have to use my MacBook because it's so much better to play a thing with the MacBook itself. We also have the weeklies. So on a Monday we have the top 40 UK charts. On a Tuesday, the Boostroid. On a Wednesday, we have Which is Best, where we compare two different games. I think the last one we just did was Sonic vs Mario, where we talk about what we think's best. On a Thursday, we have the Retro game, where we talk through a little bit of a game that we're playing. On a Friday, we have the podcast. On a Saturday, we cut out the bit of the what games we played this week. On a Sunday we have the weekly news, so that is what we do every day of the week. Sometimes we might miss an episode here and there, but we will try and keep things going. So that is what we've been playing this week with me, David, One Up Gaming, episode 356 of the One Up Game podcast. I'll have a quick break and we'll be back with this week's news.